What's going on, guys? This is Neutron Raptor, and yes, I am bringing you a T-34 Tier 5 medium gameplay from World of Tanks. Now we are playing on wonderful Commern, as you can see. Commern is definitely not one of my favorite maps. It's been reworked several times, and the map itself is still a piece of crap unless you're a heavy tank. And even if you're a heavy tank and you go to the middle, you still have got to watch out for arty constantly, because it's still a pretty good artillery map. But normally when I'm in any sort of medium tank, especially at the lower tiers here, I'll come off to the east side of the map, as you can see where I'm positioned at. I get myself up into this little bush. It is a little bit scary since I do not have 6th Sense on this tank. I've been trying to work up my crew, to get 6th Sense to sit here. But normally if anyone goes into the middle, like you're seeing, see that T-82 in the middle over there, he actually got sniped because he was spotted when he was going up the bridge. Probably by that tank right there. And as you can see, we do have tanks over here. I'm going to start running into some trouble in a little while, trying to shoot down these wonderful buildings. But for the most part, you can see that my team is getting a little bit too aggressive, which, ooh yeah, T-67, that's a high value target. That's probably the best tank in the game. The player himself is not very good, but the tank that he is in is probably the best tier 5 tank in the game. So as you can see, I immediately switched targets from the M4 and little PZ that was over there to switch to him. It's all about trying to get that designated target out. And at this moment, I realized that there's no one on the middle island. You cannot just leave that middle island uncontested like that. So I was like, okay, we have enough guys on this flank. Time for me to be my medium tank self and go and defend where I'm needed. That is the best thing about being a medium tank, is that you have the speed, if need be, in a situation like now where you can flex around the map. Heavy tanks don't really have that going on. And here we go, dead Hetzer of my friend. And see, the Hetzer's a pretty good tank too, and he just threw away his life because of where he was sitting. You can see he had his side facing towards the enemy spawn. I can't see the guy, and the Crusader over there is a bad player and he's shooting HE shells at me, so he's only doing like 20 damage a shot. I actually killed him blind, as you can see, without him even being spotted. Bounces some PZIC shots. And now it's time for the Stewart, aka the spotter, to die. He is the one that's actually spotting our team for the enemy to get us lit up by the PZIC and such. So, see, the PZIC is their best player, and you can see he's in a pretty good position, but now his bad players are not. They are giving themselves up from their sides. He's trying to take some pop shots at that Sherman. I can only... That was actually a very nice shot. I hooked, and then I got another blind kill right there. I actually hooked that shot over the top of that hill, so that was a very lucky kill. And this M5 Stewart, the whole time I'm sitting there shooting his teammates, he had kept me unlit. So, nope, his fault. He let his team down by doing that. He could have came and just took some shots at me, at least kept me lit for his team. Now we got the Crusader 2. The thing with the Crusader 2 is he is not using the top gun on that, sadly, so he is getting himself screwed pretty well. If I remember correctly, the Crusader 2, what tier is that? Yeah, see, it's a tier 3. The Crusader 2 has a giant howitzer cannon on it. If you actually want to use it, it has like a 12-second reload. It's basically like a mini KB2, and that guy was apparently not using it, which if you're going to use the Crusader 2, you might as well use the big ass derp. It makes it fun. It's kind of hilarious sometimes. And here I am. I'm in a sneaky little position here. I'm not even sure if that Sherman spots me, but I'm guessing on that shot he probably did, since I wasn't fully behind the bush when I fired at them. Now we have a predicament. They've already won. You think that they've won the map, technically, because they have enough tanks alive. They have the better tanks alive. Not the better players alive, but they have the better tanks. But right now they're doing a very bad play. As you can see, the 67 is threw his life away. It's like they've totally forgotten that I'm over on this hill. This is probably just because it's some bad players on the other team. But either way, I'm already up to 6 kills. I already have the top gun, and there's still 3 enemies left. They're all 3 on the west flank. And I'm going to go around because I figure you can see that light tank on our team. He is moving towards the cap. So in my mind, I was like, okay, I'm going to flex around a little bit right here, and I'm going to see just what happens. I figure that the guys will come rushing into the cap. I figure they'd have to, because they're going to have to stop our guys from capping. And the Churchill had just lit them up. So PZIC, a little sneaky target here. And he's disappeared. I'm still not sure if I got spotted right there. I doubt I did because all this tree cover and me being behind it. Now besides the PZ, see the PZ, he has a pretty badass little machine gun. You can see he just gunned down 2 people at the same clip. And right now I'm ignoring the Grant because he's not actually in my line of sight. Now he is. See, because he was still climbing up over the hilltop. The Grant is like a British version of the M3 Lee. I don't know if it's better than the Lee or not. But now I'm having trouble pinning him, as you can see. I'm actually surprised I had trouble pinning him because he's not that strong of a tank. I never have any problems with the M3 Lee pinning it, but the Grant actually bounced some straight up shells, which is pretty good. And this T-34, if anyone hasn't used it, it has a little 57, I think, yeah, it's a 57 millimeter Zeus cannon, however you want to pronounce it. So it fires every 1.94 seconds with 100% crew, and it's just a DPM monster. You do about normally between 60 to 80 damage per shot, which it makes people ignore you. That's the best part about the tank. You come up on like a heavy tank and you have like another medium tank beside you, boom, you hit it. It barely even notices you shot it, and it ignores you. It'll start shooting the other tanks around you, and then within 10 seconds you've already taken off half his life. And then within 20 seconds, or even 15 seconds, you've already killed him. And they wonder where their health went. It's because they ignored the little T-34 next to him with that wonderful little gun that's firing every 1.94 seconds. And I carry about 15 to 20 premium shells in this tank at any given time, and almost all of those are designed exclusively for the KV-1. That is one thing this tank has problems with. It's heavy tanks up close, or I should say face to face. And the one that gives it the most trouble is the KV-1 because it has the biggest armor on the front. And the Zeus cannon, if you're trying to fire it quickly, is not the most accurate because it actually fires normally quicker than the actual crossers close. So you can see I can set some wild shots all over the place, like that one right there even. He's trying to make a run for it. And bam, there we go. That was 9 kills in a T-34. Sure, it was against bad players, but anytime you get good battles like that, it's almost always against bad players anyways. That's why you don't see a lot of high tier, high kill games. It's just because the skill level evens out. But hope you guys enjoyed this mastery replay. I will upload the actual battle stats at the end. And peace, everyone.